you're talking about the projects. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
That you're celebrating here today. I can't help but note the irony that all 5 are based in fossil fuel combustion, natural gas liquids, cogeneration, natural gas power project. This in a year where 10% of our boreal forest burned. Climate scientists are increasingly worried about what's happening. They're saying that we need to phase out of fossil fuels as soon as possible. I'm worried these are bad investments for Indigenous peoples. I'm worried they're going to be stranded assets. I'm worried that even if they aren't, you're sentencing our future to death. I'm wondering if you can comment on the irony of saying that.
Well, Joe, let me comment first.
It is Joe.
Yeah, I know it's Joe.
Dr. Vipon, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. I know that we have a different perspective on this, and one of the things I would say Alberta is doing incredibly well is that we're working on carbon capture, utilization, and storage. We, as you know, are the largest renewable investment in the entire country in solar and wind. That's going to continue. Geothermal is another aspect. We'll be able to have critical minerals development to be able to assist with battery production. I think we can do it all. And so I'll put it over to Shanna, because I know that she has a number of other projects. Part of what we've done with the AIOC is we've broadened out the number of programs that are going to be supported by it. So why don't you talk a little bit about what might be coming on the renewable front and the emissions-free front?
And what I might note too is Indigenous economic reconciliation is about catching up Indigenous participation in the economy. So it's not about driving other policy objectives. It is solely about allowing and enabling Indigenous participation in the economy. So the Indigenous communities choose what projects they want to invest in. I will point to Indigenous Resource Network. There are many articles about why Indigenous communities want to choose to invest in these types of projects. I would also say that this is where Alberta has had the most opportunity, and so it takes a good 9 months to a year for one of these negotiations to begin to come to fruition, sometimes longer. And so what I would say to you is have some patience as we work through the economic models of these various new projects. We need to also make sure that they stand the test of the fiscal requirements for a loan guarantee. It does not do anyone any good if a project does not come to fruition or a loan guarantee gets called. The Alberta taxpayer pays, all of us pay. The Indigenous communities rely on that revenue. So we have a very strict and prudent approach from a financial capability payment structure. So then the communities are then able to use that revenue and invest it into other projects. So there's a lot to that question. We work with the Indigenous communities. We do not prescribe what investments they invest in. We support those investments. We do not choose.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything you want to? Oh, is this Kevin Krauser up here? Kevin Krauser just has such an amazing company, Avatar Innovations, and one of the things that he's working on is direct